Here at not Big 12, boy, Freudian slip there, SEC Media Days.
Yep.
I'm Jeff Ketchum, joined by former Texas starter, Copper's Cove star, standout on the football field, Duke Thomas, joining us here on Orangebloods Live. What are you doing here?
Man, honestly, this is joining today. It's full circle for me. Obviously, I did Big 12 Media Day back when we were in the Big 12.
Yep.
And then coming on this side of things, on the media side, is actually a good time to see.
Yeah, it's funny. You and I were just reminiscing before we literally went live moments ago. I was telling Duke I had Duke rated higher than anybody else in the industry. If I'm not mistaken, I had you as like a top 20 overall prospect in the state. I thought you were like a national 100, 150 type guy. And now, all these years later, here you are, post-football career.
Yep.
What's it like watching your former program go into the SEC?
Actually, it's super exciting. You know, obviously playing in the Big 12, we always hear, oh, SEC football, SEC football. But honestly, every guy that ever went to the University of Texas probably had offers in the SEC.
Yep.
So it's going to be fun for us to go over there and actually compete week in, week out, and show these guys how we can actually play some Texas football.
Any jealousy or envy involved? I mean, at the end of the day, now that Texas is in the SEC, it's easy for Texas people to say it's the best conference, it's where we want to be. But it wasn't exactly like that a decade or so ago. Are there any feelings at all, or is this just part of the deal and now it's a new era and not a lot of second guessing or hoping or anything like that?
I think you hit it right on the head. You know, honestly, let's not fight the narrative. Can't beat them, join them kind of things. They have a loud roar when it comes to the SEC. And honestly, you do see it from the statistics side of things. They do put out a lot of guys in the league. So for us to head over there and, like I said, really compete on that level where I think we can really show and surprise a lot of people this next season, it's going to be fun to really witness.
Yeah, one of the things that we've been talking about on shows, just in general, is how much things have changed in a year.
Oh, yeah.
If Texas doesn't win the Big 12 and doesn't go to the playoff a year ago, I think a lot of the conversation this week is, can Texas handle the SEC?
100%.
Are you guys ready for this? And instead, the conversation is much different. It's, can Texas play in the championship game?
Absolutely.
Are they going to go to the playoff in year one? Your thoughts on just this evolution of Texas football in a real short amount of time to go from the program that hasn't been living up to the constant hype that exists to suddenly back to being one of the preeminent programs in the country?
Man, it's beautiful to see, honestly. And I'll take my head off to Coach Sarkisian. I really think he did it right. Honestly, I think he just led from the front. He took the right leadership in that place. Because it takes a unique person to be a head coach at the University of Texas. It's not just being a head coach where you're calling the X's and O's and putting people in the right position. You really got to be a CEO of a corporation. I think he wears that hat very well. So it's really good to see us, put up the W's like we really should.
Last question before we let you go. Who do you talk to amongst former players about Texas football moving forward? Who's in your WhatsApp group? Who are you text messaging? Who do you talk to enjoy this new era of Texas football?
Honestly, I'm in a group chat with 15 guys that I went to University of Texas with. So honestly, I do a whole lot of listening. So
who's the most boisterous?
Oh man, we got Bryce Nichols, who shared our defensive back room with myself. We got Bryce Cottrell, who's also defensive end. He's gonna talk a lot of trash.
Couple of Metroplex boys.
100%. But I talk to AC, Adrian Colbert often, Kevin Vaccaro, and I was just hanging out with AP for a foundation he just launched, Quandre. A lot of guys who still stay pretty connected. So it's been fun just to really root and see us play well.
Cool. Well, hey, we appreciate the time today.
Absolutely.
It's good just seeing you again.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
Just seeing you it's like a decade ago since you were a high school prospect.
Oh, absolutely.
And now you're walking around in a blazer and
we're trying to look
Texas
good.
is in the SEC and it's just a completely different time. Look, I'm Jeff Ketchum. That's Duke Thomas, former standout starter for the Texas Longhorns. We'll have more interviews and more coverage at SEC Media Days throughout the day for the next couple of days. Until then, hey, click that thumbs up button, subscribe to the page, get notifications. We will see you.